Okay, good evening. We're starting tonight on the very bottom of Daf Samach Zayin Amud Beis, and tonight's full daf is Daf Sameches. We'll get about 5-6 lines from the bottom of the Amud on the bottom of the blot, and as I mentioned before, clicking the record button. Much more for these classical Gemaras. I don't understand the incantations. I wish we had more time to really analyze them. I'm sure there's a tremendous amount of emunah and hashkafa woven into them. So it's interesting to note that the line in the sand between darke and mori and an incantation that is mutter is the breadth of a hair. It's very easy to go wrong. So these gemaras are important to learn for other purposes, for thresholds and for understanding and for having a sensitivity to the subtlety. Somewhat reminiscent of the discussions of a Navi and a Navi Sheker and Ruach HaKodesh, these blurred lines of what deep connectedness to HaKadosh Baruch Hu means. Nevertheless, we're going to return tonight with a Gemara, a 30,000-foot Gemara, has halachic implications, but it's really some of the big picture of Shabbos. Perek Klal Gadol is overarchingly a halacha l'maisa perek, and in a few blot, in about 4 or 5 blot, we're going to get to the well-known mission on the bottom of Ayin Gimel Amud Aleph that has in it all of the listed 39 malachos, and we'll get to analyze a lot of these sugyas, many of which are halacha l'maisa. So we'll get started, Baruch Hashem, with a new perek, bottom of Samach Zayin Amud Beis at the new perek. And the Mishnah opens as follows: Klal Gadol Amru b'Shabbos. There is a Klal Gadol that has to do with Shabbos. What are we going to be expecting here? We even before we read anymore, Klal Gadol, the Gemara is going to analyze what does it mean Gadol, and why doesn't it say Klalim? Because we're going to see 3 different guidelines in our Mishnah. So very interesting language here. We're going to spend some time on the first Amud analyzing why does it say Gadol, because it's not so pashut that it should say Gadol, but nevertheless it does. So here's the Klal Gadol that is in 3 parts. Part 1. Kol hashochech ikr Shabbos, someone who forgets the ikr Shabbos. They look at Rashi Dibur Hamaschil hashochech ikr Shabbos kasav or ein Shabbos batorah. This person is very uneducated. They may have been born Jewish, but they don't know. They don't even know that Shabbos is the thing. So when that person is mechal Shabbos and v'asam malachos harbe b'shabbosos harbe, he does 39 of the 39 malachos, and he does it every week for 10 years. So what's his onesh if he ever comes to do tshuva? And somebody says, don't you know the psukim in the Torah, the Aser Dibros, we have Shabbos, v'shamar b'nei Yisrael es Shabbos. So halacha l'maisa, what is his halachic burden? Says the Gemara, 1 korban eino chayav al chatas achas. He is only obligated to pay in punishment 1 korban chatas. Now, the lumdus behind all of this is that, I'm getting choppy, sorry. I'm sitting 10 feet from my router, but thank you for telling me. I'm not sure what I can do about it, but we'll dive in for a better connection. The lumdus here is that you only did 1 violation. You only did 1 thing wrong. The 1 thing is what we would call 1 he'elam, 1 absence of mind, but it just lasted for much of that person's life because they just didn't know that Shabbos existed. So ma'afshar lasot. So he did 1 thing wrong. So that's his onesh. That's the first part of our Mishnah. Case 2 of our Mishnah: Hayodea ikr Shabbos ve'asam malachos harbe b'shabbosos harbe. Be'etzem, I know that it's Shabbos. I'm aware that it's Shabbos. However, the asam malachos harbe, but I don't know that today is Shabbos. I think today is Friday. So if I think that today is Friday and I'm behaving like it's a regular Friday, so then what's the din? The asam malachos harbe b'shabbosos harbe chayav al kol Shabbos b'Shabbos, because be'etzem you know that there's a Shabbos. The Meforshim here try to explain that why is this dissimilar to the first part of the Mishnah, where someone is of the mindset of it's 1 problem. I always think that Friday is Shabbos. It's the same error over and over again. My calendar is just 1 day off. So there, the Meforshim say it's impossible to not know between Shabboses that someone's going to correct you. You're going to see someone shopping on Friday in a frantic way, and you're going to say, Shegitz, why are you shopping on a Friday? And they're going to say, you're going to find out that it's Shabbos. So that's why here the Gemara distinctions, the Mishnah says that your onesh is chayav al kol Shabbos b'Shabbos. Now still, we're not going to knock you for every malacha that you've done, but we are going to knock you for every Shabbos that you have violated. So each Shabbos is 1 korban chatas. The third case, bottom line of Daf Samach Zayin Amud Beis, Hayodeh shu Shabbos v'asam malachos harbe b'shabbosos harbe. I know that it's Shabbos, and I just forgot about malacha. I didn't realize that there were certain Yisrei malacha. So then the din is v'asam malachos harbe b'shabbosos harbe. Then you're chayav al kol av malacha u'malacha. You're obligated to pay consequence. You're obligated for the chayav chatas on and every malacha that you do wrong. Last din of the Mishnah, ha'oseh malachos harbe me'ein malacha achas. Let's say that I do 10 different iterations of one malacha. So then what's the punishment there? Eino chayav alachatas achas. I'm only going to be held accountable for one, because they're of the same tipus, they're the same profile, and therefore I'm going to have to treat them as such, and I'm only chayav one korban. We'll have to see where all of these cases apply. Here, the Gemara on the top of Daf Sameches Amud Aleph, right at the very beginning of the Gemara, opens with a question that I alluded to, which is, what is the language of Klal Gadol Amru B'Shabbos? Klal Gadol. What is the language of Klal Gadol? Says the Gemara, my taima tana Klal Gadol. Why is it that you said that the language is Klal Gadol? Ilema, if you want to say that the reason why it says Klal Gadol is Mishum de Kaboy Lemisne Od Klal Acher, because somewhere else in the Masechta, we're going to teach a language of klal, zeha klal, and because this is greater, we therefore say, and that's what the Gemara says here, therefore, tana klal gadol. And also, similarly, says the Gemara, begabe shvius nami, by shvius as well, mishum de kabayla misne od klal acher. By shvius, it also says klal gadol, because there is a secondary Mishnah that says a regular klal without klal gadol. Therefore, over there by shvius, tana klal gadol. So if you want to say that the reason why our Mishnah and by shvius, the reason why it says klal gadol over here is because by each mesechta, by each area of halacha, there is a zeha klal, and this is the klal gadol. So if that's the case, says the Gemara, v'hagabe meiser dekatani klal acher v'lo tani klal gadol. But the problem is that by meiser, we don't use the language of klal gadol, even though there's a klal acher. We have another klal over there. So we see that sometimes we use gadol, namely by Shabbos and by Shvis we use the language of klal gadol, but by meiser we don't. So it says the Gemara, you got to figure this out. So why are you doing what you're doing? Why are you saying the language of klal gadol? Answers the Gemara about 8-9 lines down. Sameches Amud Aleph, Amar Rabbi Yossi bar Avin, Shabbos u'Shvius. In regards to both Shabbos and Shvius, the isbehu avos v'toldos. In regards to both Shabbos and Shvius, we have these categories of avos and toldos. Under those circumstances, tana gadol. That's why we have the language of gadol, because they have this lofty level of avos and toldos. We know by Shabbos that we have avos and toldos. What are the avos and toldos of Shvius? Take a look at Rashi. Dibur hamaschil. Isbei avos, just to the right. By Shabbos, our boim chaser achas, there are 40 minus 1. There are 39 malachos on Shabbos, shehutzruchu leMishkan, which were required for the Mishkan. Betoldos, hadomos to kol achas, havia tolda didei. And every single time that we have a tolda, it's similar to the av. And avos, the shvius, and in regards to shvius, we also have avos and toldos. What are they? Zriya, uktsira, uzmira, uvitzira, dechsivan. Toldos she'ar avodos shebasade vekerem kida arminan b'moed katan perakama. So we see by Shvius that we also have this. We also have a distinction of avos and toldos. So how is the Gemara answering our question? Rabbi Yossi bar Avin is saying that by Shabbos and Shvius, which is different than Meiser, by Shabbos and Shvius there are no avos and toldos. So therefore, there are avos and toldos. So by Shabbos and Shvius, where there are, avos and toldos, there we have the language of klal gadol. It's not because it says klal another time in the Masechta. That we don't care about. The reason it's gadol is because it has avos and toldos. Masha'ein kain, these two avos v'toldos, therefore tana gadol. Masha'ein kain meiser, the less be avos v'toldos, lo tana klal gadol. So that's the Gemara's posited answer here, that the reason why we say it is because the worlds of Shabbos and Shvius have avos and toldos, which is not the case by meiser. Says the Gemara, wait a minute. Ulebar kapara de tani klal gadol b'meiser, my avos umay toldos ika. Hold on 1 second. Bar kapara, we'll see a very critical historical Rashi in a moment. Bar kapara says a different language by the world of meiser. According to Bar kapara, when it came to meiser, we also had the language of klal gadol. And therefore, if we had the language of klal gadol by meiser too, then the distinction that we made doesn't work, because we just tried to give the distinction that Shabbos and Shvius, that whole world has avos and toldos. However, by meiser, we don't have avos and toldos. But that doesn't work because Bar Kapara says that we have the language of klal gadol by all three. Take a look at this very, very important critical historical Rashi. Rashi Dibur Hamaschil Ulebar Kapara de Tana, about 1.5 inches below where we are. Says Rashi Ulebar Kapara de Tana, Betosefta Didei, in his Tosefta. What does that mean, his Tosefta? I've mentioned this before, that Levi and Bar Kapara, they were the ones who put together, who orchestrated, who organized the Toseftas themselves. So when we say that it's Tosefta Didei, it's actually the book that he put together. It is these types of Rashis that indicate to us who authored what. And therefore, we see here with clarity that Bar Kapara authored the Tosefta. So it says, going back to the Gemara, what do we do about the Shita Bar Kapara? Because according to Bar Kapara, we have Klal Gadol both by all three, by Shabbos and by Shviz and by Meiser. So therefore, the answer that we just recommended fell apart, and we're going to try again. We're 1/3 of the way down, and the Gemara is now saying Elalab. Rather, that's not the answer. Elahainu Taima. And here we have a bit of a Girsa challenge. I'm just going to add in, according to the Hagos V'Tzionim, Elahainu Taima Dekatani Klal Gadol. What's the reason why it says Klal Gadol? Can't be what we said before. It can't be the distinction of these two have avos and toldos and these two don't, because according to Bar Kapara, we have Klal Gadol, the language of Klal Gadol in all three Masechtas, in all three areas of halacha. So let's try again. Says the Gemara, because Gadol onshel shel Shabbos yoser mishel shvis. So here's what the Gemara is positing. In all three areas, in Shabbos and in Shvis and in Meiser, there is an onesh by each of those areas that's greater than an area of onshin in a different area of halacha. And the language of Gadol that's said in our Mishnah and by Shvis and by Meiser within the world of Bar Kapara is to indicate the onesh, and that there's an onesh that's more severe by each of these areas, and let's see what they are. The Ilu Shabbos, in regards to the worlds of Shabbos, Isa, we have the halachos of Shabbos, bein betalosh, bein b'mechubar. We have the status of Isser, whether or not something's attached to the ground. We may have an Isser that's Usser by something that's attached to the ground and something that's not attached to the ground. When it's attached to the ground, you have the Isser of Kotzer. When it's not attached to the ground, you have the Isser of Omer, of gathering things up. The Ilu Shvi'is, but by Shvi'is, when do we have the Isser of Shvi'is? That's for fruits or vegetables that are growing in that year. Betalosh lesa, when it's separated from the ground. Let's say you have a fruit or vegetable that's picked in the 6th year, but you have it in the 7th year. That's not shvis. That's not a problem of shmita. However, b'mechubar isa. So therefore, we see that there are fewer onshin by the world of shvis than there are by the world of Shabbos. Continuing the Gemara, the Gadol onsha shel shvis yoser min hamaiser. And the reason why it says Klal Gadol in the world of Shvi'is is because in the world of Shvi'is, we have a distinction that applies to Shvi'is that's not true by Meiser. What's the distinction? The Shvi'is, Isa bein b'machal behema, bein b'machal adam, bein b'machal behema. When we talk about Shvi'is, the Isurim of Shvi'is apply both to foods that belong to an animal and to foods that people eat. However, Be'ilu Meiser, when it comes to Meiser, tithing our food, b'meichel adam isa, b'meichel behema lesa. But when it comes to that's applicable to our food, we give meiser on our food. But if we're feeding a behema, there's no din of meiser, and therefore, in such a case, the onesh by shvis is greater than the onesh that exists by meiser. Ule Bar Kapara, and according to Bar Kapara, who said that his language of Klal Gadol applied even by the world of meiser, and with our now newly posited suggestion that why are we saying Klal Gadol, the language of Gadol is to indicate a greater onesh. So then according to Bar Kapara, who lists the language of Klal Gadol by Meiser, what is his Klal Gadol? What is the onesh that's greater by Meiser? And what is it greater than? Says the Gemara, the Bar Kapara, right halfway down on Maseches Miral. The Bar Kapara, the Tani Klal Gadol b'Meiser. What is his uniqueness? What is the uniqueness of Meiser over another area of halacha in regards to onshin? Says the Gemara, Gadol onsho shel Meiser yoser mishel peya. That there's a greater onish by the world of Meiser than there is by peya. How so? Because the ilu Meiser isa b'te'ena v'yerek. When it comes to Meiser, it's applicable to all foods that are applicable to human beings, even by te'ena and by yerek, even by dates and by vegetables. But dates and vegetables are not shaykh by the world of peya, because they're not in a field, or they can't last long enough, as we'll see shortly. The ilu peya, however, when it comes to peya, leisa b'te'ena v'yerek, peya doesn't apply to those foods. Why does it not apply to those foods? Because a well-known Mishnah, it's none. The Mishnah says in Maseches peya, Klal amru b'peya, kol shehu ochel v'nishmar v'gidula min hakarka ulekitaso ke'achas umachniso lekiyum chayav b'peya. There are 5 parameters that make a food chayav in peya. Number one is that it has to be an ochel of food. Number two, v'nishmar, it has to be protected. We'll see what all these phrases mean. The gidul min haaretz has to grow from the ground. Ulukitaso ka'achas has to be gathered at one time. We'll see what that means. Umachniso l'kiyum, it has to be able to last in a storehouse. It has to have a shelf life. In all of those cases, they're chayav b'peah. Let's analyze them. Ochel. What do we mean when we say foods? Well, aren't there some herbs that we use for dyes? Says the Gemara, lemeute, to exclude sviche stis v'kotze. Rashi here points out that these are she'om dim letzeva, that these things are made for dyes. So we don't have to, that's not where the din of peah applies. The din of peah applies to a meichel, it applies to a food. It doesn't apply to something that's being used for a dye, but that's not eaten. V'nishmar, what does it mean that it's v'nishmar? Says the Gemara, lemeute hefker. If a person is mafker their field, there's no din of peah. It's a loophole, but that's technically the case. The gidula min haaretz, what does that mean? The meute kemenu pitrios, this excludes mushrooms where the bracha is shehakol. It's not borei priho adama. Yes, it can go from the ground, but it also can grow in other areas as long as there's a moisture. What does ulukitaso ke'achas mean? L'meute te'ena. The dates are not always ripe at the same exact time. The harvesting is not all done on the same time, so that would preclude it from peah. Most vegetables have no shelf life. Masha'en cane, wheat and barley and other things that do have a shelf life. Okay, so we know that by peah we have these 5 parameters. When you have more rules, that means that there are fewer foods that are included in peah because there's more rules. But by meiser, continues the Gemara, gabe meiser, what do we have? What are the parameters of that which is included in meiser? We'll see that there are fewer rules, and therefore more foods fall into the parameters of what is subject to meiser, and therefore the onish by meiser is going to be greater than peah. Tanan, what does the Mishnah say in regards to meiser? There are only 3 of the parameters. We have ochel, nishmar, v'gidul min haaretz. L'kitaso ke'achas u'machniso l'kiyum lo. Lotanan. We don't have that. So what do we therefore see? We therefore see that even according to Bar Kapara, and this is how the Gemara concludes, that what is the reason why we have the language of Klal Gadol? The reason why we have the language of Klal Gadol by our Mishnah and by the Mishnah in Shvius and by the Mishnah in Meiser, according to the version of the Tosefta that Bar Kapara put together, all 3 of them, the reason why we have listed the words Klal Gadol instead of just a Klal. What's so great about the Klal? What's so great about it is not a hashkafic thing. It's a very sophisticated halachic thing. That all of the onshin are greater than another area. So we said that Shabbos is greater than, what was the next one? Shabbos is greater than Shvius, and Shvius is greater than Meiser, and Meiser is greater than Peah. Very good. We started out our Mishnah after indicating Klal Gadol. We've explained that already, that it's all about onshin. We said in our Mishnah that Kol HaShochech Iker Shabbos, someone who forgets Shabbos. Let's give a little bit of a parameter. What kind of shikha are we talking about? What type, is this amnesia? What kind of forgetfulness is this? Is it possible for someone to forget that Shabbos exists? It's literally a 1/7 of our lives. There's nothing to even stop that. It's a train. It doesn't stop at all. How do you forget Shabbos? It says the Gemara as follows: 2 dots, 3/4 of the way down. Rav and Shmuel, the Amrei Tarvaihu, they are both of the opinion Tarvaihu. They both hold Masnisin, the Tinok Shenishma Lebein Hanachrim, the Ger Shenisgayer Lebein Hanachrim. What are we talking about when we're talking about shikha? We're talking about a person, a child who was nishba Lebein Hanachrim, the convent babies of the Holocaust. I've had some families in the bris milah world. A woman, a Givaldic story. This woman told me, I'm Irish Catholic, my mother's Irish Catholic, and so is my grandmother. Taka, it turned out that her grandmother was put in a convent in the late 30s in Germany. And she was raised Irish Catholic. As it turned out, she was Jewish. Her daughter was Jewish. Her granddaughter, who was around my age, is Jewish. And all 5 of her kids are Taka Jewish. What she thought was going to be a medical procedure turned out to be a chashav of bris. We did it in the office at NCSY with a whole tzibor. It was beautiful with brachos and singing and mazel tovs, Baruch Hashem, an amazing thing. So, well, what about that child? Up until that day in that child's life, he was mamish tinok shenishba. He grew up in a home of Irish. He doesn't know the difference of Shabbos. He has no clue. So what's going to happen to Mir Hashem one day when he sees the beauty of Torah? He's going to say, I want to be a part of this community. He's going to learn the pasuk in the Torah, V'shem b'nei Yisrael Shabbos. Okay, I didn't know. What should I do? You're chayav to bring 1 korban. So that's what Rav and Shmuel say here, that the Tinok Shenishba Lebein Hanachrim and the Ger Shenisgayer Lebein Hanachrim, a person who does Gior, the Tosfos is extremely, extremely bothered by this line. Take a look at the last Tosfos on the page. Ger Shenisgayer Bein Hanachrim, Bifnei Gimel, he was Megayer in front of 3 people. The Lo Hodi Uhu Mitzvah Shabbos. How do you go through a gerus process without? Gerus has requirements. If you're a male, it's mila, tefillah, kabbalas, and mitzvos. If you're a woman, we skip the mila, and it's kabbalas and mitzvos and mikvah. You got to go to the mikvah, and you have to say, I'm accepting the corpus of Jewish code. How do you not know about Shabbos? What kind of bezdin is it that doesn't tell you that there are three things we say about Orthodox Jews? They keep Shabbos, they keep kashrus, and they keep taras hamishpacha. What kind of gerus is this? This poses significantly difficult questions in the poskim. And that's what Rashi, the Tosfos here points out in the last part of the Tosfos. In Yiskayr beino levein atzmo lo ave ger kedamin be'acholetz. In Maseches Yevamos there it says that if a person says he woke up one day and says I'm Jewish, you're a goy doraisa. That's nothing. That's a zero. There's no halachic significance to that. Just this week, yesterday, I had a phone call from a father. He said, my wife is having a baby this week. I want you to do the bris. I said, Mazel tov, b'shat tova, all the nice terminology. He said, I just want to let you know that my wife is a giores through a conservative conversion. Oh, so now I have to be the bad guy. And I told them, it's not, whatever. In short, I basically said, I can't make the brachos. I can do the circumcision. I can't make the brachos. He was very upset. He wanted me to change my mind. I said, I'm really sorry. This is my tradition. I follow my tradition. Very upset. His gerus is a zero. It's nothing. She's not Jewish and the baby's not Jewish. The poskim are very clear about that. Because what's Kabbalas and mitzvos? They don't keep Shabbos. That's this sugya mamish. So the Gemara is very bothered by this havamin of the Gemara that a person who was megayer and he doesn't know about Shabbos, that he could possibly be in the category of chiyuv. He's a goy. So the Gemara is very, very complicated sugya here. Nevertheless, that's what Rabbi and Shmuel say, that in these two cases, what is the shikha of our Mishnah? When the Mishnah says that there's shikha, we're talking about one of two possibilities. A tinok shenishpa, someone born amongst the goyim and doesn't know about Shabbos, or someone who is a ger sheniskaya lebein anachrim and he doesn't know about Shabbos. Aval, however, hikir ulevasov shachach, if you knew about it, taka, and ulevasov shachach, and then you forgot about it, chayav al kol Shabbos v'Shabbos. So the first case of our Mishnah is talking about what Rav and Shmuel just said. But if in fact you do recognize Shabbos and then you forgot it, so then you're chayav al kol Shabbos v'Shabbos, like the second case in our Gemara, like the second case in the Mishnah. So let's dig in a little bit. It says the Gemara, Tanan, hold on one second. You just wanted to say that the first case in our Mishnah of shocheach was not when you were shocheach. You're retranslating the word shikha. You're saying that it means you never knew. Because the Tinok Shenishba never knew about Shabbos. And the person who is a ger who was never told about it, he doesn't know. That's not shikha. So it says the Gemara, it's not hashochech ekar Shabbos. Lav mechlal dehav yole yediya me'ikara. When you say the word shochech, you can't forget what you don't know. So how is it that Rav and Shmuel is getting shot in the first case of our Mishnah that shikha is defined as not knowing? That's the exact opposite of shikha. Says the Gemara, lo, my kol hashochech ekar Shabbos. You never, itaka means. According to Rav and Shmuel, we're retranslating the word shikha. Rashi on the bottom of the page says, this is the Rashi Dibur Hamaschil, it's the third to last line. Shahaisa shechucha mimenu me'olam. He never knew. He was born bein hagoyim, he never knew. So in such a case, that's what shikha means. A wild retranslation of the Gemara. So says the Gemara, wait a minute, hold on one second. If you're retranslating the Mishnah, then I have a question. And what's the inference from there? If you say that when you never knew that you're going to be chayev one korban chatas, then what's the inference? Aval hikir ulevesov shachach mai. If in fact you taka did know but forgot, chayev al kol Shabbos b'Shabbos, then you're chayev on every Shabbos. Forget about only one korban. Now you're in category 2 of our Mishnah. And that's exactly what the Gemara asks. Adetani hayodea ikar Shabbos ve'asa malachos harbe v'shabbasos harbe chayav al kol Shabbos v'Shabbos. Wait a minute. The second case is listed in our Mishnah is more severe than the inference of the first case. You said that case number 1 is where it's not really shikha. It's like you were born tinok shenishba. And the inference of that case is, but if in fact you knew and forgot, you're chayav al kol Shabbos v'Shabbos. But if that's the inference, then who needs the second case? Listening, all you should have taught was the case of hikir ulevasov shachach. You should have just taught the case of where you knew about Shabbos and forgot about it. And then what's the onesh there? You're chayav on every Shabbos. The kol shekain, all the more so, the second case as our Mishnah lists it, which is a case of which is a case of Yodea Iker Shabbos, where a Yodea Iker Shabbos, and then Asa Malachos Harbe. So the Gemara says that if the first case is as you say, Rav and Shmuel, we don't need case number 2. So answers the Gemara, no, hold on. My Hayodea Iker Shabbos, what is that second case? The second case of Yodea Iker Shabbos. I know that there's Torah, that there's Shabbos, but I thought today was a different day of the week. So says the Gemara, it must be Misha Haya Yodea Iker Shal Shabbos V'Shikha. It must be that we define the second case as a case of Shikha. And if it's about Shikha, if so then the Gemara continues as follows, turning to the top of Daf Sameches Amud Beis. Aval, what's the inference? Lo shachecha mai. If I didn't forget, I knew that it was Shabbos. However, I didn't realize that this particular malacha was asur. Mai, what would the din be? Chayav al kol malacha malacha, like the third case in the Mishnah. We keep retranslating the most basic understandings of our Mishnah, but when we do that, asks the Gemara 2 lines down, Sameches and the Beis, Adatani hayodeh shu Shabbos vas malachos harbe b'Shabbosos harbe, chayav al kol malacha malacha. If the inference of your second case is that you're chayav al kol malacha malacha, then I don't need the third case of the Mishnah. Lisnei hayodea ikar Shabbos v'kol shekein. Then I don't need the third case of our Mishnah. You keep retranslating it to the point that the inference is remove the need of each of the further cases. The way you translated the first case removes the need for the second. The way you retranslated the second case removes the need for the third case of the Mishnah. So therefore, the Gemara says, stop all the way back to the drawing board. All the way back to the drawing board. Ella, it must be Masnisin, the first case of our Mishnah, when it speaks about Shikha, is actually talking about Shivcha. We're not going to retranslate the word Shachach. Shachach means forgot. Therefore, 5 lines down, Sameches and Beis. Ella Masnisin, our Mishnah is Kishehiki Ulevasov Shachach. You knew, but you had a senior moment. You just forgot that it was Shabbos. Uderav Vishmuel Nami Kihiki Ulevasov Shachach Dami. They're adding on our Mishnah. It's not just regular Shikha. What do they add? V'hachi itmar Rav Shmuel Damrei Tarvayu afilu tinok shenishba ben anachrim v'gershin izgar ben anachrim kikir levasov shachach dami v'chayev. There's a regular case of Shikha, and then there's the extended case of Shikha. So the Mishnah says if you forgot, you are a person who just lost your memory for a day and you violated Shabbos. And then Rav and Shmuel are not translating our Mishnah, they're expanding our Mishnah to a new case of Tinok Shenishba. So they say our Mishnah is not talking about Tinok Shenishba. That's just an extension of Rav and Shmuel. And why is it that Rav and Shmuel said that? Because Rav Yochanan disagrees. Take a look at the next line. Rav Yochanan v'Rav Shimon ben Lakish de'amrei tarvayu dafka hikir l'v'sof shachach. They say no, our Mishnah is limited in scope. It's more myopic. Only when you have a memory of and you forgot. But if you were a tinok shenishba, about tinok shenishba ben anachrim v'gershin iskar ben anachrim pater. Oh, so this is why the Mishnah is so critical. Shot in the first case of our Mishnah is regular forgetfulness. You forgot it was Shabbos Pashut. Your memory, you blanked, you had amnesia. Rav and Shmuel are on one side, and Rav Yochanan and Reish Lakish are on the other, in regards to, do we expand our Mishnah to the following case? What do we say about a Tinok Shenishba? Do we say that's like regular forgetfulness? Or do we say it's nothing? It's just a nothing. How are you mechayev someone who's born into a family of Irish Catholics? How can you hold that person accountable? They mamish had no clue. So that's why there's a machloket. Rav and Shmuel say we expand Shikha from our Mishnah to the world of Tinok Shenishba. And Rav Yochanan and Rav Shimon ben Lakish said, no, it's too far. Shikha, fine, you're chayav a korban. But it's not reasonable that someone who has a Tinok Shenishba status, that they should be held accountable to the point that they're chayav a korban. They didn't know anything. That's not reasonable. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is not mechayev them. That is the machlokas between the two of them. 1/3 of the way down, Sameches and Beis asks the Gemara, Meisive, says the Gemara Tosefta, Klal Gadol Amru b'Shabbos. What does it say in this Tosefta? Kol hashochech ikar Shabbos ve'asa malachos harbe b'Shabbosos harbe eino chayev ela achas. Mamish a quote similar to our Mishnah, but listen to the next line. Ketzad, how is this Tosefta to be explained? With the expansion of Rav and Shmuel. Tinok shenishba lebein anochrim. The Gershon is Gayer bein anochrim v'asamalachos harbe v'Shabbosos harbe eino chayv elachatas achas. We see a Tosefta black on white, just like the sheet of Rav and Shmuel. So how can it be that Rav Yochanan says that you're putter in the case of Tinok Shenishba? We said that our Mishnah was debating, do we expand the classical case of Shikha of our Mishnah to a world that's different of Tinok Shenishba? Yes or no? Rav and Shmuel on one side, Rav Shimon ben Lakish, Rav Yochanan on the other. Asks the Gemara again against Rav Yochanan, Rav Shimon ben Lakish, what are you talking about? The Tosefta is very clear. It says you're chayav a korban. So how can it be that Rav Yochanan and Rav Shimon ben Lakish are going to say that you're pater? The Tosefta says you're chayav. Now, before we answer that question, let's finish reading this Tosefta because it's not quite done yet. Continues the Tosefta, v'chayav al hadam achas, v'al hachelev achas. If a person were to eat blood, they'd be chayav one korban. If they were to eat chelev, the fats that you're not allowed to eat, you're chayav one korban. V'al avodah zara achas, and avodah zara, in addition to all of the other difficulties of avodah zara, you also chayav one korban there as well. Munbaz poter. Munbaz is the name of a Tana. And we're going to learn more about his shita tomorrow. Munbaz poter, what was his shita? The kachaya Munbaz done lifnei Rabbi Akiva. Munbaz had a crazy svara, one that does not work for us. As some background, we know that there are three ways that a person can violate an avera. You can do it b'mezid, which is on purpose. I know what I'm doing. I shouldn't be doing it, and I'm doing it. That's a mezid. The second is a shogeg. And in the world of shogeg, there are various varieties. I didn't know the isser was the case. I didn't know what day it was. I didn't realize the action I was doing. Nobody informed me. 100 different variations of shogeg. The third case is ones. Ones is a case where there was no control over the scenario. It happened without my knowledge or without my control. Now, when it comes to a mazid, you're not allowed to bring a korban chatas. A korban chatas only applies to a shogeg. So the levels work like this. By a mazid, when you do something on purpose and it's usher and the action is itself an isser, but you did it on purpose, there's no korban chatas. That's the highest level of avera. The middle level of avera is a shogeg. I did it by accident. Nebuch, I don't want to violate your Torah, Kadosh Baruch Hu, but I did. Nebuch on me, I'm chayav to bring a korban. When it's an ones, there's nothing to talk about. Now, Munbaz had a crazy svar, and he pitched it to Rabbi Akiva. Here was his pitch. The kachai Munbaz done lifnei Rabbi Akiva. Hoel umezid karui chote. The shogeg karui chote, just like, and Munbaz has a pasuk to support it. Just like I could find the Mari Makom that a mazid is also referred to as a chote, just like a shogeg. Take a look at Rashi. Dibur Hamaschil, Mezid Kore Chote. It's about 3 inches above where we are. Dichsiv, what's the pasuk that tells us that Munbaz is really right? That there's a pasuk that says that a din that you violate b'mezid is also called a chote. Says the pasuk Dichsiv b'shvuas ha'edus nefesh ki secheta v'shamea v'gomer loksi be'v'ne'elam. The word v'ne'elam in the pasuk means I forgot. It was a shogeg. We don't see that word by the case of shvuas edin. And what do we see? That the pasuk calls it a chet. It calls it secheta. So Munbaz says, going back in the Gemara, Munbaz argued, Hoelu mezid karui chote. Just like when you do an action on purpose, it has the status of a chet. B'shogeg karui chote. And the same, of course, we know that the pasuk in Vayikra says that when you do an isser daraisa b'shogeg, you're chayav v'chatas. Ma mezid shahaisa lo yediyah, af shogeg shahaisa lo yediyah. So then Munbaz throws out this wild idea, and he says to Rabbi Akiva, it must be that when you did the mezid, and here's the chiddush, and when you did the shogeg, you knew you were violating the isser doraisa. That's crazy to us. If you're doing a shogeg on purpose, if you know about it, you're guilty. That's amazing. That's not a shogeg anymore. So what is Munbaz talking about? Rabbi Akiva, a little tongue-in-cheek, says back, let me make your question stronger. And he says, Amar lo Rabbi Akiva, hareni mosif al dvarecha. Let me make your shaila a little bit stronger. You must be saying that by the mezid, you knew what you were doing at the time of the aveira. You're going to tell me that you knew what you were doing wrong during the shogeg? How is that possible? If you do that, it's not a shogeg anymore. The definition of shogeg and mezid is that I know what I'm doing versus I don't know what I'm doing. And says the Gemara in return, what does Munbaz say back? Amar lo hein. Rabbi Akiva, you chapped me. You totally understood my opinion that even a shogeg has yediyas. I know what I'm doing. It says the Gemara, but kol shekain shosafta. Thank you very much. You made it so much stronger. Rabbi Akiva is thrown back in his chair. Amar lo. Rabbi Akiva says, lidvarecha ein zeh karui shogeg elamezid. What are you talking about, Munbaz? You just undermined the whole world of a chatas. Chatas is only true when you don't know what you did, or you knew about it afterwards, or the lack of yediyas. So Rabbi Akiva throws back at him this question. We're going to analyze this more tomorrow. But for the immediate case, the Gemara now is asking the following question. Katani miha ketzad tinok. What do we see in this Tosefta? We see in this Tosefta that when we were trying to define shikha in this Tosefta, how did we define it? We defined it with ketzad tinok. And we said the ketzad was with a tinok shenishba. Bishlama le Rav Shmuel nicha. I understand, according to Rav Shmuel, this Tosefta is kaftor v'ferach. It fits perfectly. Why? Because the Tosefta says that we expand shikha to tinok shenishba. And Rav and Shmuel said we expand shikha to tinok shenishba. That's perfect. However, according to Rabbi Yochanan and Rabbi Shimon ben Lakish, how do you understand the Tosefta? Rabbi Yochanan and Rish Lakish, you were hesitant. You refused to expand our Mishnah of Shikha. You were not willing to say that it's considered Shikha, that I forgot to include a Tinok Shenishba into that world of Shikha. That's not Shikha. You're too far away from the reservation. There's no Isser, you're putter. But what do you do about the Tosefta, Rabbi Yochanan? How do you get away from that, Rabbi Shimon ben Lakish? Says the Gemara, weren't you paying attention? Amar lecha, Rabbi Yochanan v'Reish Lakish, lav mi'ika munbaz de patar. Didn't you see that munbaz was pattered? So here we have a machlokes, Rabbi Yochanan, Rabbi Shimon ben Lakish on one side, and we have on the other side Rabbi Yochanan and we have on the other side Rav and Shmuel. It's a machlokes amoraim aliba de tanaim, and here are the party lines. It's Munbaz who has in the following of them, you have the Shita of Rav and Shmuel, and you have Rav Yochanan and Rav Shimon ben Lakish following the Tosefta. Anan, we say Rav Yochanan and Rav Shimon ben Lakish, de Amrinan ke Munbaz. And that's how the Gemara is going to end for today, and we'll pick up tomorrow with this analysis of Munbaz, that we have this machlokes about whether or not we expand our Mishnah of Shikha to the world of Tinok Shenishba or not. Yes, according to the Shita of Munbaz and Rav Yochanan and Rav Shimon ben Lakish, and no, according to the Shita of the Tosefta, and in the footsteps in the Amoraim with Rav and with Shmuel. Have a beautiful night. Amir Hashem will pick up tomorrow night with Daf Samach Tes.